What's up, y'all? It's Pat Neely, and I am once again in my kitchen. As you hear, my little one, she wants to say hi. Typically, she likes to get over here and cook with me, but I'm doing something super special today. I'm gonna make you guys skillet smoky chicken with rice. You know, in the South, they cooked a lot of rice. They always had some chicken. But the unique thing about this, I'm building flavors and I'm actually gonna add some sausage. So I got about 6 to 8 ounces of kielbasa sausage. And you can use any sausage you like. I'm just gonna slice these. I prefer the kielbasa. It has a lot more flavor to it. And it's just my own preference. I got my skillet over here. I'm gonna crank her up a little bit. It's getting hot. I'm gonna add a little oil to my pot. We're gonna just go right in with our sausages. We don't have to season them, we don't have to do anything because they already have a tremendous amount of flavor in them. And what we wanna do is we're gonna brown these sausages. You get them really brown, y'all. You really wanna not overcrowd your skillet. While they're browning, I've got some chicken thighs. I got 4 skinless chicken thighs. You can go skinless, you can go boneless. I actually have the bones in mine, which I'll remove later. The thing that I like most about this dish is this is it. There's no oven, it's a one-pot deal. Everything is in one pot, so I'm seasoning my chicken. I like a little extra seasoning. If you're not a fan of too much seasoning, you don't have to, but I use I make my own seasonings. So this has a little garlic, a little onion powder. I gotta tell y'all, for me, there's nothing like getting in the kitchen, throwing down. The smell of these sausages and everything brings me back to grandma. You know, my grandmama would get up early. She would be frying, and this is kind of like a Sunday meal. She used to kind of make it and have it all ready together before she left for church. Okay, y'all, as you can see, my sausages have browned nicely, 3-4 minutes, medium to high heat. So we're just gonna take those out. And now we're gonna brown our chicken. While those are browning, I got my vegetables going. So I got 1 red bell pepper I'm gonna chop. And then I decided to go with red onions. So I'm gonna chop these. So I got 3 garlic cloves. I'm also gonna just chop. I was reminiscing the other day and ran across this recipe. I said that'd be something new and different because I've never made this for them. So the judges will judge me later. All right, y'all, take a look at my thighs. I got on short, but I ain't talking about those thighs. I'm talking about the thighs in this pot. The aroma is just incredible, and they have browned nicely. So what we want to do, we got a plate that I've already browned my sausages in. We're just going to pull out these thighs that we browned. They braised nicely. That's exactly how you want to cook them. So we got our skillet. It's super hot. I'm going to add just a little bit more oil. So I got my red bell peppers that I chopped earlier. We're sauteing those. And my red onions. When you're sauteing vegetables, season them with a little salt and pepper while they're cooking so they can cook in. We're just going to toss these around. Oh yeah. Now I know you're asking like, where's the garlic? Well, one of the things I like to do when I have thicker vegetables like bell peppers and onions, and I'm gonna saute garlic, I like to saute my bigger vegetables first and add the garlic because There's nothing worse than burnt garlic. So get these going. And as they start to soften and you start getting that fragrance, then you can add your garlic. To make it even more smokier, I've got some smoky paprika that I'm seasoning the vegetables with. And stir that around. You can tell, if you guys really can look and see, the vegetables are getting super soft. When you're sauteing vegetables, it's only about 3 to 4 minutes, depending on how many. And you don't want to over saute them. So these look perfect. We got about 1.5 cups of long grain rice, and we're just going to toss that in. And what we want to do is just kind of toast our rice in with our vegetables. So I've got some diced tomatoes, and I like a little green chilies in mine, but if you just want to go with straight diced tomatoes, I probably have got about 28 ounces here. And we're just going to add those in. Quick stir. And I've got about 3.5 cups of chicken stock. You can get store-bought chicken stock, or if you do like I do a lot of times, you can make your own. And it's simple. You just, you take the bones from your chicken, and maybe some celery, a few vegetables, boil them in a pot until they boil all the way down, and then take that stock and put it in the refrigerator. And now that we got all that incorporated, we're going right back in with our chicken. Oh, this is great flavor, y'all. And then we're going to put our sausages back in. And we want to bring it to a boil. I'm going to put a lid on it. We're going to cook it for about 20 minutes until the rice thickens. And what we want to do is internally cook our chicken, let our rice all cook. And I know you're saying it's a lot of juice, but what happens is once we bring it to a boil, I put the lid on it, all of the liquid is going to reduce down. And then I got one other little treat that I'm going to add a little bit later to it to finish this dish off. But this smoky chicken skillet rice, y'all, is over the top. Stay with me. Okay, y'all, I've let my rice and my tomatoes and my sausage and my chicken and all the vegetables cook for about 25 minutes. So let's take a peek. Ooh-wee. Oh yeah, you see the tomatoes? The tomatoes kind of moved out of the way for the rice, but the liquid has reduced beautifully. So we still got about 3 more minutes. So what I got here is about 1.5 cups of frozen peas. And we just take these and we kind of go across the top. Because I followed this pattern my entire life with my children and cooking great meals, what happens is now that they're young adults, they do the same. I mean, they'll eat out here or there, but typically, if you call Shelby or Spencer in the middle of the week, it's Wednesday, they've gotten off from work, they'll tell you, Dad, I'm cooking this dish or I'm cooking that dish. Sometimes they call me for advice, if you could believe that. They'll call me and ask me certain little tips, or what can we do with this, or one of the questions Shelby just recently asked me, she wanted to bake some salmon, and she was wondering, do I keep it covered, Dad, or do I do this? And I try to guide them, but I also try to let them learn on their own, because the best way to learn how to cook is to get in the kitchen and just experiment. I wasn't always a great cook, and quite frankly, I'm still learning how to cook. So don't let the stove and ingredients and even cuts of meat intimidate you. It's not going to always be perfect, but as time go on, you'll perfect it. I used to cook sometimes, and I got heavy hands, especially with spices, and I would over season it. But that always registered and stuck into my head. Hey, you put too much salt last time, so you bag up off of it. And quite frankly, that's how I developed so many delicious and wonderful recipes. So let's take a peek. We want to let those peas just cook a little bit longer because they were frozen. And so it just adds a little more color. It gives you the vegetables. So when you're preparing a dish like this for your kids, I'm gonna turn it down just a bit. You got everything you need here. We've got vegetables, we got our protein, we got a little rice. If you like, when you're serving it, you can throw together a little garden salad and maybe some garlic bread or something like that. And you got a complete meal. And as you can see, this is a nice pot. And this dish is extremely well for leftovers. So if you have a little bit tonight for dinner, and it's Sunday, and you say, I don't even have to worry about cooking tomorrow because I can come right back and warm this up tomorrow for dinner as well. Let's see what we have. Absolutely smells delicious.